President Trump's one-sided feud with Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell reached new heights this week, with Trump repeatedly lashing out at Powell. The president, like many presidents before him, wants interest rates to come down, and he's making that clear in a way that's almost without precedent in recent history, and it's in a way that's very troubling. Like most central banks in most industrialized nations, the Fed has long maintained its independence from the desires of the administration, and Trump seems to have had enough of that. What triggered Trump this time was Powell's comments last week on inflation in relation to Trump's on-again, off-again tariffs. On Wednesday, Powell said, quote, unemployment is likely to go up as the economy slows. In all likelihood, and inflation is likely to go up as tariffs find their way and some part of those tariffs come to be paid by the public, end quote. This is not a controversial view. Jerome Powell's a smart guy, and I'm about to talk to a really smart economist, but you don't really need to be that smart to understand that those things are likely to happen. But Trump didn't like it. He took to his social media site early on Thursday, writing in part, quote, Powell's termination cannot come fast enough, end quote. And on Friday, Trump said this to reporters.
If we had a Fed chairman that understood what he was doing, interest rates would be coming down too. He should bring them down.
Now, if Jerome Powell and Donald Trump walked into a room and one of them didn't understand what he was doing when it came to the economy, I'm not putting my money on that guy being the Fed chair. When Powell warned that Trump's tariffs could bring inflation down and could bring greater inflation and slow economic growth, he didn't use the exact word, but what he was describing is stagflation. Investopedia defines stagflation as an economic condition characterized by slowing economic growth, high unemployment, and rising prices or inflation simultaneously. It's a 1, 2, 3 punch, although at least for now we continue to have low unemployment. But inflation and a recession, which then results in higher unemployment, at the same time, that's very difficult to get out of. It is something the U.S. has experienced before. Back in the 1970s, the U.S. was fighting a costly war in Vietnam, losing its manufacturing jobs. Unemployment and inflation were both high at the same time. On top of that, oil prices were through the roof. It was one of the worst economic periods in our history. Stagflation is difficult because it creates an economic nightmare, not just for the average person, but for economists and policymakers who are trying to solve it. Most conventional solutions just don't work. Usually you fight inflation, rising prices, by raising interest rates, which slows the economy down a little bit. You fight slow economic growth or recession by lowering interest rates, causing people to spend more. So you see how this is an issue. You fix one thing while making the other worse, and vice versa.